Bobby, what's up,
How
brother?
are you?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm good. Happy belated Thanksgiving.
And to you, man. I know you were originally a Canadian guy, and that's like October, but you do it now too, yeah?
Yeah, I look for every reason to celebrate.
There you
Food,
go.
working out, having fun with my family. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it's a great holiday, even though I like, and Thanksgiving in Canada, by the way, it's the same as here. We just do it in October.
Same,
So
same though, right? Yeah.
yeah, so when I moved down here, I actually don't celebrate in October anymore. I just celebrate in November.
Just do it down here. Right on, man. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, happy belated to you, brother. All right, man. If you got to pick one guy before we even dive in, you got to pick one guy on the screen that you got to beat up, man. Who's it going to be? You got
Oh
any men?
man,
I
this is
know.
tough.
I know.
I was looking for Tim because I'm looking to cash in on one more fight
Oh,
and
let's see, dude. We can see if we
we
can make
can
yeah. Let's see if we can make that happen.
we can pull a big gate, you know?
That's so funny, man. Dude, no doubt about it. He's hilarious. Yeah, he came in. He's back and forth, so he may pop in. He's all over the place, man. Sometimes he's in, sometimes he's out. Last time he got mad at me earlier this week because we had a guest and he came on and he wanted to ask a question, but still doesn't know how to raise his hand on here. And so, he's not the smartest guy in the bunch, but yeah, we could make a fight happen. I
Funny.
love
And
it.
the funny thing about that is though, and this might be a lesson to talk about, but like people from the outside look at a fight as a fight. Like you've got these guys out there and they see red and when it's go time, they're going to do the thing and all this stuff. But for a person that's actually a professional fighter, it's
Yeah.
about one thing and one thing only, and it's about a payday. It's
Yep.
about a following. It's about press. It's
Yep.
about so you want to call out the biggest name possible. Like people are they go after Jake Paul incessantly
Yeah.
for his fighting, but like what they don't understand is he's in the business of promotions. Dana White is in the business of promotion. So if you're going to fight somebody, you want the biggest name possible that's going to sell the biggest tickets.
True story, man. None of those guys are stupid, brother. None of those guys are stupid. Did you end up watching Tyson and Paul?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I mean, it's what I expected.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what it was. It's a
Yeah.
produced fight.
Yep.
It's a spectacle.
Yep.
It's the way the rules were weighted. If you look at the contracts, like Tyson got more money the longer the fight went on. They
Mhm.
used 14-inch, 14-ounce gloves instead of 10-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
It was exactly what it was supposed to be,
Yeah.
and it was a spectacle to sell a bunch of tickets, and it literally shut Netflix down.
Yes,
That's
it
how many
did.
people were trying to sign into it. So, job done. And
Yeah.
where Jake gets a lot of criticism, it's funny. If you're 8-1 as a boxer, you're fighting in a local bar in Toledo, Ohio.
Yep.
You're fighting at like a small
Yep.
arena in Jacksonville. People don't understand that that's what boxing is. He's just doing his growing up, so to speak,
Yeah.
in
In the
front of the
public eye.
world. So
Yep.
so everyone's clamoring him to get a big fight, a big fight, a big fight. You don't get that till you're 16-1,
Yeah.
20-1,
Yep.
20-2. You understand what I mean? So it was what I expected. It was
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. Yeah, it's funny. So you're mentioning that, and when we were chatting on the phone the other day, and guys, I'm gonna dive in. I promise. This is I love talking to this man. We got to chat on the phone a couple weeks ago, and it's just easy, and we share a lot of the same perspectives on things. And we're gonna dive into him, and you guys are gonna come in and ask some questions. But one of the things that we talked about, man, and this is I have no business in this. So these guys have met. Who came in as a former boss, came in as a former mentor a few weeks back, and super good dude. And I always tell people my very first fight. So Ken Shamrock threw the fight, right? He was the one promoting the event, and so it was my very first fight as an amateur. And I'd done kickboxing, but it was my very first fight in the cage. And I had no business having this be my first fight, but my first fight, man. So Ken's throwing the event. I've got Bruce Buffer announcing. We got Boss that's ringside, Randy's ringside. Vernon was on the card, Dean was there, Lister. It was just I had no business fighting a guy. Metzger was there ringside. I had no business fighting in front of these legends. First time through, but man, so dang grateful to get to do it and to step it up that way. You, man, and your fighting background obviously did it at a much higher level than I ever did, and it was a phenomenal kickoff to dude what has become an amazing career. I mean, you're talking law enforcement to mixed martial arts at the highest level to rocking at Jim Jones to author to, I think you're in a film coming up now, if not already have done it. And I'm not sure I'm not sure if that was like something with Keith or what that is, but you got, you know, the movie stuff going on, dude, training people all around the world. You're crushing things, man. How are you feeling about all that?
Yeah, I'm good. And honestly, it's ironic that it's Thanksgiving because I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I think that people they focus too much on what they don't have versus what they actually have. And it's a cause of a lot of discontent and a lot of unhappiness in society. And I look around and I'm looking around my house right now, and it's funny. My son asked me if we were rich, and I said yes. And he said, "Why do you think we're rich? Like, we don't have a Maserati, we don't have a Ferrari, we don't have a, you know, this is like a talk you're having with a 15-year-old boy who's trying to grow up and, you know, who's trying to find himself." And I literally said, "Because we have a garage and a finished basement." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "You have to understand," and I'm actually going to pull a picture up here for you. I grew up in a house that didn't have a garage. I grew up in a house that was 600 square feet. I grew up in a house that did not have a finished basement. I grew up in a house where my bedroom in the basement didn't have any drywall on the walls. Like, it was just studded out.
Yeah.
It was just studded out, and I had a bed down there. And so for me, every single time I walk in my garage, and it might sound stupid to you, it might sound small, it might sound insignificant, but I'm like, man, I have a garage with like a lot of gym stuff in it. I've kind of made it. When I walk downstairs and I'm looking around right now, and I've got crown molding like around the roof, and I've got baseboard and stuff. Like, it makes me feel good, and I'm grateful to be able to have that. And for all my experiences, you know, I can sit here and I can complain. And I'm going to actually show you. This is the house I grew up in. We got me in front of it. Hopefully it'll my camera will allow that.
Oh yeah. Yep. You can see it.
Just like, and
Yeah,
by the
man.
way, that's a lot nicer than we had. That's been redone. Just
Yeah.
so we're
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
But so when I look at this stuff, like, yeah, I suppose I could have a laundry list of complaints. I didn't do as good in the UFC as I wanted to. Maybe I don't have as much money as I wanted to. It'd be nice to be able to afford the car that I want, or like all these other things. But the reality is, I am very fortunate and very grateful to live the way I do. And so every day I try to focus on those things as opposed to some external thing that I don't have.
Man, and I've always loved that. So I mean, I've followed your work for a number of years now before you and I ever connected. And one of the things, I think you have it on your website too, but you live this, is you have a disdain for mediocrity. And what that means is not the BS flashy look. We're not going to have this mediocre lifestyle. We got to buy all the BS. No, it's mediocrity of the mind. Like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to take that woe is me. You're going to be grateful. You're going to work your tail off. You're going to outwork everybody else. You're going to be more thankful. You're going to help more humans. You take that approach. And that's the thing I respect the most, man, is that, you know, the avoidance of that sort of mediocrity of mind that so many people have gotten into. How are you working on transferring that to your young men? You know, we got young men that are here with us that are 14, 15, that are in that age, and you're transferring that mindset to your boys in a world that says, oh no, it's the Andrew Tate mentality. You got to have this many girls, and you got to have this many cars, and you got to have this. Right? Like, that's what avoiding mediocrity looks like. How do you have those conversations?
So I want to say, and I'm glad you brought up Andrew Tate, and I'll say this bluntly, I hate this alpha male mentality. Someone calls him an alpha, and I've been guilty of it in the past, of misusing the word, but it almost shuts me down now, because alpha has become synonymous with being a bully, being mean, putting other people down, who can yell the loudest, who's the gruffest and the roughest and the toughest. And I don't think that makes you an alpha. I think what makes you an alpha is protecting other people. I think it's being kind. I think it's showing love to other people. And so I disassociate from that message. And a lot of times with this alpha movement, it's the size of the watch you have. And notice I don't wear a watch. I don't do that on purpose because I'm not into the whole show of having something giant on my wrist. It's whoever has the biggest car. It's whoever has. And again, I don't think that's a great way to live. And I think that's a dead end that leads to unhappiness and misery. So how do I teach my kids about this? Number one, I teach them to be grateful for something. And every night we do a practice before we go to bed. Tell me something you're grateful about today. Last night, they were grateful for the turkey, and I found it kind of funny. I'm expecting as a dad, as a teacher to hear, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the love you give me. They were grateful for the turkey. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that because there are people that literally cannot afford a turkey. Like if you're sitting here and you're part of the school, you're fortunate. There are a lot of people in this world that can't afford a $40 turkey for dinner. There are a lot of people that are on food stamps. And I say in the world, in the United States, I was reading a stat the other day that if you don't have credit card debt and you have $10,000 in the bank, you're in the top 5% of the country in wealth. Wow. That's shocking, right? So they're grateful for the turkey. Good for them. I teach them to be grateful for the things that we have. And I talk to them, and I wonder if I have a little stack here. I'm going to be a nerd for a second. So this is a passion of mine. It's Magic the Gathering cards.
Yep.
Right? These are not inexpensive. Pokemon cards are not inexpensive. Like when you go buy a pack of these cards, you're looking at like $7.99 a pack, $8.99 a pack, like whatever this is, right? These cards, I used to love them when I was a kid. I couldn't afford this. I had a small little deck. The cards that I really wanted, I didn't have enough money for. My parents couldn't buy me them. And so when we look at this stuff, I try to reinforce that with my kids as well to remind them, like, your dad didn't have this. This isn't normal. This is like, I had to work hard for this and to actually be grateful for it. I also correct them when they say, this sucks. I want more. I'm not happy with this. I'm like, kids would kill for this. There are kids that would kill to have your life. So I try to remind them of the other side. And what I'm really getting at is it's really important when you're having a bad day, when you're feeling like you're not enough, when you're feeling like you're failing, to sit down and have some perspective on how the other half lives, because chances are your problems aren't as bad as you think they are.
True freaking story, man. That stat alone of that 5%, that's unbelievable. And it reminds me, I read something else and I don't remember exactly what the number was, but it was somewhere between like $30,000 and $40,000 a year, like somewhere in there, right? And somebody made the point that if you're somewhere in there, if your parents make that, which again nowadays is considered below, poverty level or close to it, I would imagine, in the United States, if that's what they make, 30 grand, 40 grand a year, you are in the top 1% of wealthiest humans that have ever lived.
Yep.
That's
incredible.
Right?
Like it's incredible. But again, you're sitting there complaining about all the things you don't have because you want the giant Rockwell watch, or you want the Rolex, or you want the Peugeot, or you want the car, or you want the whatever. Can I cuss on this thing? There's kids here.
Right. They'll be all right. Yeah, they'll be all right.
Okay. So there's a real talk I had with my 15-year-old. He was complaining about me being 5 minutes late to pick him up from high school. And I literally looked at him in the eye and I said, you ungrateful motherfucker. And his eyes got real big. I said, I used to ride a bus 45 minutes home from school after wrestling practice, or if I missed the bus, I used to have to hitchhike. He's like, what's hitchhiking? I'm like, you stick your thumb out at the side of the road and you pray that somebody picks you up, and then you pray that you don't get murdered by them on the drive home. And he was like, his mind was blown, because I had two parents who worked very hard, but we didn't have a lot. We had one used car, and they couldn't pick me up 45 minutes away from the school I went to because I wanted to wrestle. So a lot of times it was hitchhiking or a bus pass. And I'm like, do you know how lucky you're sitting there complaining that I'm 5 minutes late? I'm going to make you hitchhike home tomorrow. Like, I just want you to put that in perspective. So again, it's easy to focus on what's not going right. It's easy to focus on our problems. It's easy to focus on the negative. But again, that's going to lead to a negative mindset. And I promise you, no matter who you are, no matter where you are. Like I'm looking at all the people on this call. I promise you, if I went around the room, there's something you have to be grateful for.
You better
There's
believe it.
something you're fortunate. There's something you have that somebody else out there would absolutely kill for. Another story for you, because this came up today. I lost my dad in 1998. If I tear up, I apologize. But my dad died when I was 20 years old. Um, and sometimes, like as kids, we have a tendency to complain about our dad. Come on, Dad. My kid says that all the time. Dad, why are you always on me? Do you know how bad I want to be able to pick this up and call my dad to ask him a question?
Mm-hmm.
You know how bad it sucks to have to figure out shit on your own? Like when I got questions about my kids, when I don't know how to do the electricity, when I own a house now and I need help like with the drywall, and like I don't have a dad to call. And it's something that, like, again, you take it for granted every single day. And I was lucky to have a dad for 20 years. There's some kids that never meet their father. And so it's something that again, you always have something to be grateful for. And so I really, really try to drive that home with my kids because they are bombarded with social media and in the world with this get more attitude. It's whatever car you drive, whatever, you need another car, you need first class tickets. Like, man, I'm so over that mentality.
Same, man. You're leading well, man. Because this has nothing to. We have a rule in our house. We got 11 rules on the wall that everybody came to a conclusion. Like, look, this is how we're going to show up in the world. And one of those is no complaining. Fix it. If it is something that it's worth complaining about, it's worth you
Yep.
putting into action and getting after it. Otherwise, it's not worth mentioning because you're being grateful for that. I love
But
it.
but also even take a step back from that.
Yeah.
No complaining is great. And it's easy to say, I'm not going to complain anymore. But let's do a deeper dive. Let's do a deeper look into that. Let's examine what you're complaining about and whether it's worth complaining about in the first place.
That's right.
Right? Because like you're complaining because you don't have a nice enough car. Sit down for a second. Is that really a complaint? Like, is that really a legitimate? And I really try to stress that with my kids as well, rather than just say no complaining or no this or no that. It's like, let's look at the root cause of this. What do you really want?
That's right.
What are you really looking for? And you use the car example. Is it acceptance? Is it that you want other people to envy you? Is it that you want to be cool? Is it that you want to be like, well, what's the root of the problem? I was reading something the other day, that anger is not a real emotion, that there's no such thing as anger, that anger comes from somewhere. Anger is the end result.
Yeah.
But why are you angry? And it's usually because you're sad, because you're unhappy, because your feelings were hurt. Like anger is what manifests.
You're afraid.
But yet you're afraid, but anger is not a real emotion. So if we're going to fix that, we have to figure out the root of the problem.
That's right. And then you have to figure out sometimes if you're the root of the problem, cool, what do you need to do differently to go get it?
To fix it. Yep.
And, and one of the things that you call out quite often is the hypocrisy of people who want to be healthy. So they say, but the actions do not match. And you're talking about that financial piece a little bit earlier, and the top 5%. If you got 10 grand in the bank and you don't have credit card debt, you're the top 5%. And you posted something the other day, and I think you're spot on. And I don't know if this was actually looking at data or you're just making a comment around trends, but it was something to the effect of 5 years from now, being a healthy person versus the monetary gains. Like it was going to be, you're less likely to be somebody who is physically fit, physically healthy, because people say it, but that people just don't act upon that at this point. And I appreciate that so much. Again, you hold a different standard as far as that goes. That standard, when you're transferring to, we're talking about transferring these ideas to your kids, you also now are working with so many people that are clients of yours, whether it's from a corporate standpoint, you're speaking, or whether it's a coaching standpoint and you're helping them to get healthy. Do you find yourself going into that same sort of mindset that we're just talking about here, helping those clients? And what's the pushback you get from them? Because you help so many people get healthy, but I got to imagine you run up to some people sometimes that are like, this is too much, or I don't, all the excuses in the world, right? All the eloquent BS that we tell ourselves. How do you deal with those guys?
So there's a couple of things there. Number one, fitness is the only area of your life where you have full control. You could be the best husband in the world and your spouse can cheat on you. You could be the best wife in the world and your spouse can cheat on you. You can run a business and the economy can tank and you're all of a sudden out of business. You have no control who got voted into office, and you have no control what they're going to enact upon the world, right? You'd be a great driver. You could have the 5-star rating from who's that cute little lizard that sells the insurance? Really nice guy, Australian accent, the Geico guy.
Geico
Right?
guy.
Or Flo from Progressive.
Yeah, there you go.
You can get the 5-star rating from them, and you're at a red light and you get rear-ended from behind, and you it's not your fault, right? So much of life is beyond our control. And I haven't even mentioned anything bad, natural disasters, cancer, heart disease, like good luck. Fitness is the only area of your life where you have full control. You might never be world class, but if you show up and you work hard, you will be better tomorrow than you are today. That's 100% true. And if you don't, you will be worse off tomorrow. It doesn't matter how much money you have. There are plenty of rich people, Oprah Winfrey, Will Ferrell, Adele, Lizzo, who want to be fit but cannot get fit, and they have the money to hire a me. But they can't get fit. You can be broke and in prison and be one of the fittest people on the planet. You have full 100% control. And so I try to talk to people about the fact that there's some solace in that. There's some comfort in that. That's what we all want at the end of the day. We want control. We want stability. So there's a way to use working out not only as a means to a physical end, but as your therapy. Because it's the one area where you have full control and you feel safe. And that's what everyone wants at the end of the day. We want to feel safe. So I try to teach them through lessons like that. But then the other side of the coin is I try to help them find value. I used to call people lazy, but as I've gotten older, I've decided that's judgmental in me. I used to tell people that they don't want it, but that's also judgmental and mean, and it doesn't help people. The truth is, what it really comes down to is how much value do you find in this? And if you find value in it, you'll do it. If you don't find value, you won't do it. Because name calling doesn't help people. You know what I mean? Like there's this whole thing going on in the world where it's like the woke crowd versus like the people who are like, well, I'm just going to use that word because that's my word. Okay. You know what? I don't, this is too much for me, but this is also way too much for me. There's some truth that comes down the middle, if you will, where you can get a message across while being respectful and kind. That's that's a better way to teach people, is the point I'm getting at, versus name calling. You understand what I mean? And so by calling you lazy, Matt, if you hire me and the first words out of my mouth are "you're lazy," you're going to get defensive. There's no way I can teach you after that. There's a better way to talk to you about, Matt, you haven't been able to work out in 6 months. Let's help you find value in it. What do you value? What do you look forward to? If I can help you find value versus name calling, I can help you achieve your goal.
I love it, man. So good. And that's the mark of an educator right there. And I'll tell you, I don't, been, again, no professional athlete status, but I've been somebody who's been in better shape than most for a longer time than most. And I continue, that's a priority for me. And I've followed a whole lot of people for a long time and taken what I could and learned and applied and helped others. I don't do a lot of buying fitness related books. I did buy yours, partially just because of the way you do show up and partially because of the way you do lead by example as well. as help other humans. And if I'm crunched for time, dude, I'm rocking the Holy Trinity and just freaking getting after it, right? Like I take that and I appreciate that so dang much, man. Um, you leading by example that way with the workouts that you're putting out there and helping all those, helping them to educate. That is a big piece of what we're doing on our physical campuses as well. We got all these guys here, some of our dads, some of our young men from around the world that are on here live with us. We've got these physical campuses, and we're trying to impart this kind of mentality with the younger generation as well. We're getting back to that old Lost Sierra high school. I don't know, did you ever see that, like the Lost Sierra standards, the old school PE? Have you ever seen any of the videos on that where you got the
Oh
young?
yeah. It went viral. I want to say a year ago it came across my desk.
Yeah, dude.
And everyone was
Yeah.
talking about how fit people were.
100%, man. So we want to bring that back to at least have that be a part of our campuses for our families, getting after it. Physical education, is a joke now in more schools than not. It's a silly excuse to not do a whole lot. We want to get fitness back into those, as being a standard thing that the entire family is getting involved in. So what do you think about the state of where young people are going today? Have you seen what looks to be a decline? But again, we can also fall into our myopic sort of thing. I don't know. Do you think there is a decline in the fitness level? And then as far as education goes, who have been the people over the years that have helped shape you and mold you in your views on fitness? So kind of two-part question there, and we'll start taking some questions from these guys after.
Yeah, so I want to say a couple of things. And first of all, I'm going to be hypocritical because I struggle with things. I go back and forth with things. As self-assured as I seem, there are nights I go to bed and put my head on the pillow and I'm like, should I really have said this way? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? Like I'm very introspective, right? And so despite the fact I said I don't call people lazy anymore, you'll see me post on Instagram sometimes where I call people lazy and I'm trying to evoke a certain response. I
Yeah,
want them to
yeah,
feel
yeah.
that anger to get them engaged, right?
Yeah,
But when it comes to working out, and I just said that for a reason because I have a problem with standards. I like standards.
yeah,
I have a list of standards in my book.
yeah.
I put out standards. I train standards. So I like them. But at the same time, I don't like standards because the thought and the effort should be in the process, not the
Mm,
end result.
mm,
The reason we're unfit today and the reason that people are unfit as a whole, and yes, you're 100% right when you say fitness is declined. Now that video you were talking about, I I kind of put that in the category of fake news because I don't know how produced it is. I don't know what if it's AI. I don't know how many people actually passed those standards. Like, give you an
yeah.
example. I'll tell you that a police officer in Ontario to get hired has to run a mile and a half in 9 minutes. That's not exactly true. You're supposed to get it in 9 minutes, but they're not firing you if you don't get it in 9 minutes. And if there's a
Mm,
spot to be filled, the standard gets more relaxed. So like it
mm,
sounds great in theory. The Canadians are all really fit, but it doesn't really work out like that. You understand what I mean?
yep.
So I just want to put that out there. The base reason why people are more unfit isn't because of some standard high school had or because people worked out more in the 50s. It's because we just lived more active lifestyles.
Mm,
The way the world has evolved, we've turned a lot more into this. And
yeah.
this, you can't see what's going on the other side of the camera, but
Yeah.
it's a camera, it's it's a Zoom call, I'm seated, like this is the longest I'll sit all day.
Yeah.
But the world has evolved in a different way, whereas 300 years ago, well, actually, let's go 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years, all you young men, you were in the Roman legions and you were marching to England to get in a fight.
Mhm.
That's literally like, and you were carrying back your dead. That's where the world was. And then in the 1700s, like I'm looking at all these young men out here, you guys were farming. Never
Yeah.
mind you. My 4-year-old, his name's Hunter Boo. Hunter Boo would be carrying buckets of water today because the crops needed tending to, right? Like we just moved a lot more. We weren't seated in a school all day or on a call. And then you look at like, you know, now everyone's just jobs are computer work.
Yep.
We don't move around anymore. And human beings love convenience. We don't clean our houses anymore. We hire a housekeeper. We don't shovel our own driveway anymore. We hire somebody to do it. We don't cut the grass anymore. We hire somebody to do it. Like our levels of activity have dropped. So never mind standards in terms of pull-ups and running and deadlifts. And like the reason we're unfit is we're just not active enough. That's part of it. The other part of it is this, right? Or I'm actually looking, I thought I might have a Nintendo Switch somewhere around here.
Yeah.
We play a lot of games. Versus when you didn't have games to play, you were outside. You were running around. So that's why the world is more fit, right? The path to physical fitness for me doesn't lie in necessarily like that one workout that's going to change your life. You got to be able to do 15 pull-ups or you're a piece of trash. You got to be able to run. It's literally, I just want you to take an hour of your day. That's 4%, guys. 4% of your day, and you just got to move. I don't care what you do. Zumba, Pilates, Kim Kardashian workout tape. She had a Pilates thing for a minute. I don't care. Move around. Go swimming, play basketball, go play capture the flag. Like it doesn't matter. Just move around for an hour. And I promise you, you can spend hours on programming. You can hire me. You can do all the pull-ups. You can look up physical standards. You can buy my book. If you just moved around for an hour a day for a year, you would be an incredibly fit human being at the end of that year. You'd be in the percent of the world. So like get rid of all the nonsense and just make it part of your day. One of the things that was striking to me, I used to take Sundays off. Why? Because it was Sunday. I'm not religious, but it was just Sunday was always a day off, right? Like you work out chest Monday, back Tuesday, legs Wednesday. There's like a bodybuilding split. And you know, the weekend you just take off because that's what you do. You already worked out 5 days a week and away you would go. And my slogan was every damn day. And on a Sunday, my son, when he was 4 years old, my 15-year-old, he looked me in the eye. He said, "Are we going to work out today?" I said, "Well, no, it's Sunday." He goes, "What's that have to do with anything?" I said, "Well, it's Sunday. We don't work out." He goes, "I thought you told people that you have to work out every day if you want to be better." And I'm like, "You little shit." Like, what? He's like, "I thought you had to work out every day." And I'm like, "Yeah, but we take Sundays off." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, because we take Sundays off. And he's like, "Yeah, but why?" And I couldn't look him in the eye and give him a straight answer. And so then I just started working out on Sundays because why wouldn't I? Right. And when you run the math, I got a calculator here. Awesome. Do you guys think you're doing good? Like show of hands or whatever. Do you think you're doing good if you show up 5 days a week to work out? People would say you're crushing it, right? 5 divided by 7, you're literally showing up 71% of the time. That's mid. Since when do you want to do anything 70%? Right? So my thing is working out at that moment became to my kids and to me, it's no different than brushing your teeth. Would you not brush your teeth on Sunday? Like, do you not brush your teeth on a holiday? No, you brush your teeth every day. Like, it's just part of your, and why do you brush your teeth, Matt?
Now it's a habit. Now it's a habit because you want, it's a habit because that's your standard of
but I'm gonna give you a deeper why, because you don't want a root canal. You don't want cavities because it's expensive. It sucks to go to the dentist. Why aren't you treating your body the same way? Like, you want to go to the doctor? Do you want a heart attack? Do you want diabetes? Do you want, like, it should go in the same category as brushing your teeth. But we don't do that. So I would tell the young men here, focus, guys, focus on the process. Just do something for an hour a day. It's literally 4% of your day. I promise you it will make your life better. Now, in terms of the people that I've looked up to, I could give you the podcast answer of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mike O'Hearn, C.T. Fletcher, Boss Rutan, like famous fitness fighting people, blah 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 blah. The truth is, it's people that have impacted me on a personal level. Eugene Vinci, my first wrestling coach. I was bullied really heavily. When you like these as a kid, this is a one-way ticket to getting a beatdown. People used to rip my cards up, shove me in a locker, punch me in the face. It all culminated for me when I was 14 years old. These kids beat me up and broke my collarbone. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. So I joined the wrestling team. My first year of wrestling, I lost all 40 matches, but Eugene Vinci never gave up on me. Just kept letting me come to practice. My second year, I won 1 out of 40 matches. Man, it felt good. But he never gave up on me. And then I started to get better and better and better and better. And then eventually, I guess I did some stuff. I got in the UFC and was on the Olympic ladder for wrestling. And like, oh, okay, but that started from literally nothing. So he was a huge influence on me in terms of teaching me about exercise, teaching me how to do frog hops, teaching me how to sprint upstairs. I didn't know what a burpee was, and he taught me what a burpee was. So that's like a big moment for me. Then it was my 2 university wrestling coaches. I went to 2 universities. One was a guy named Ray Takahashi, who was an Olympian for Canada 3 times, won bronze in the Olympics. And then the next one was a guy named Fran Clayton, who's one of the highest regarded coaches in North America for wrestling. And they taught me a lot. They taught me a lot of lessons that I was able to take with me. From there, it was Sean Tompkins, legendary fight trainer, who got me into MMA. From there, it was a guy named Shaw Franco, who was my first jiu-jitsu coach. Like it's actual people that you probably never heard of, but real people that helped me. And like, I'm going to tell you guys something, man. You're looking on the internet to these heroes. I don't know who you like. Andrew Tate. Who are some other people? Like you're looking at Mike O'Hearn. You're looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're looking at Chris Bumstead. You're looking at Sam Sulek. Probably some kids are going to smile because kids love Sam Sulek when it comes to working out. You're looking at these like TikTokers and stuff, but like there's probably someone at your local community center. There's probably someone at your local YMCA. There's probably someone at your local gym that has a ton to offer and you could learn a ton from. And oftentimes in life, we look past these people in our neighborhood, these people we have access to, looking for the big shiny thing. And we miss out on some real knowledge that could be passed down to us.
True freaking story, man. So good. Another gentleman that I know you work with, and I don't know your relationship, and I'm not asking to disclose him, but Mark Twite, another guy who's just an OG in the space. Obviously, you guys worked very closely together at Jim Jones, and I've communicated with Mark a little bit, and he wants to do something live when next time I'm in Austin. We're gonna try to get together, but a lot of the stuff that he produced too around the standards and a lot of this work you guys were doing together that helped increase our standards too. And again, not the, Mark doesn't have the biggest name in the planet and is not as well known as all those guys, but that is somebody that again changed my life for the better too. I think it is those personal relationships, man, make all the difference in the world. So good. So good. Jericho, let's get you in here.
So I had a question for earlier about how how would you get to really focus on that stuff? Because I have a very hard time with focusing, and I try really hard. It's
Focusing on
hard for
what?
me to focus
Focusing on what, Jericho?
on like exercise, or I have a bit of a weird thing with exercise. I had a body condition where I couldn't lose weight for a couple, like 4 or 5 years or so. And I worked out for like a full year during that, and I lost 20 pounds, but that's all I could do due to the health condition. But I didn't even know I had the health condition. And then now that I don't have it anymore,
Mhm.
it's kind of hard for me to start trying to do that again.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jericho, I'll say this. First of all, you say only 20 pounds. 20 pounds is a big achievement. Like
Mm.
if you lost 20 pounds year one and 20 pounds year two and 20 pounds year three, you would be, I mean, I don't know how heavy you are, what your goal is, but like that's pretty incredible. So I wouldn't discount 20 pounds. That's number one. It's a great job on that.
Mm.
Number two, if you're having a hard time focusing, it's about making a commitment and having some discipline. Motivation is BS. No one's motivated 24/7, 365. I'm not motivated. There's days I do not want to do this. What you need to do is you need to practice some discipline and you need to practice showing up. The number one thing that I would recommend doing is you take your little device, you go to your calendar. I use this as a teaching tool, by the way. You go to your little calendar. Everyone's got one of these. Maybe yours looks a little different. You click on the day and you book yourself an appointment. 12 to 1. Maybe 2 to 3. Maybe, and do this every Sunday night. Do this for a week. Plot in the times you're going to show up. I don't even care if you're going to work out, but you have to show up. There was a guy that came to a seminar I was teaching that was having a hard time getting the thing done, right? Very, very similar to what you're saying. And so what he did is he would book after work a time from 4 to 5 every day where he would go to the gym. Even if he didn't want to work out, he would go and just sit there. It was an appointment with himself he could not break. And funny things started happening. He'd sit there for 15 minutes. He'd be like, well, I got to stay here till 5. I might as well move around a little bit. So he'd walk on a treadmill. He'd walk on now you might not think that's a lot of work, but man, if you burned an extra 300 to 400 calories every day for a year, man, you're down an extra 20 pounds. And so I would book an appointment with myself. Stop focusing on the end process. It's what I said earlier. Stop focusing on the weight loss. Stop focusing on the numbers. Stop focusing on I want you to book an hour appointment with yourself every day. And I want you to keep that promise to yourself. Even if you don't train, the fact that you showed up for you, I think there's some real intrinsic psychological happiness value in that you actually put yourself first for an hour out of the day. I think that's so important in our lives.
What do you think, Jericho?
I don't know really what to say, but thank you, and I think I agree with you on that.
Yes, sir. Good man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just show up, literally, guys. Like book an appointment with yourself and show up.
Jericho, I know you're newer, and so one of the things that one of the very first exercises you guys have in there, right, is your time blocking. That's the whole thing. Your calendar will tell us what you are actually believing in and believing for and putting out there. Your calendar tells that story out there, right? We say the things we wish we believe, we do the things we believe. So if that's what you want, and we need to start working on that fitness side, and I know we've got all the workouts and all that goes over to you, but what Mr. McDonald is saying, man, putting that down on the calendar, getting that in there and just showing up, making that a non-negotiable, you can't help but start moving forward, man. So
there is a lot of psychological research too that says if you just write it down, you're more likely to follow through on it. Like it's just that. It's literally, it sounds stupid, but it's that simple. And I actually do it with these. Like my cards, I'll book myself in an hour of here's I think something that's important too, Matt. I really have come to despise the grind hustle mentality we live in. Wake up at 4:30, crush people's faces. You're a lion. Like there's so much stress in that. We forget to play. We forget to have fun. We forget to fill our emotional buckets. So I book myself an hour of frivolous fun time a day too.
There you go.
An hour to pay me. I'm gonna, this just does nothing for me except fill my soul with happiness. I'm gonna spend an hour today. My time is actually from noon to 1 today. I get to play with my cards. And I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna play with my cards and I'm not gonna check my phone. The world could be burning around me. And I'm gonna put myself first for a minute. It could be woodworking, it could be a movie, it could be a video game. I got no problem with video games. Now if you're playing 9 hours a day, yes. But But an hour a day of working out, non-negotiable, and an hour a day of frivolous fun time, non-negotiable. But I book it in because if I don't book it in, guess what happens? I miss it. And then I miss it the next day. And I miss it the next day. And then I'm miserable and I'm unhappy and I'm strung out and I'm stressed. And I start with nobody cares about me. No one's grateful for me because I'm a man. Everyone's taking advantage of my time. Dude, no, you took advantage of you. You didn't spend your hour doing your thing for you.
And that's good. You guys see what he's saying there. And this goes back to Bobby, what you were saying earlier with the kind of that spectrum. And we were talking about a different concept, but it's the same concept here. We're talking about a different thing, but that spectrum of, look, it's not, you're booking that time, one, to make sure that you get to fill up, and two, to make sure you don't go. Because the other end of the spectrum is, look, cool, video game for an hour. Or if I don't book it and have something else, then it is video games for 8 hours, 9 hours. Some people go that way on the spectrum. Some go the other way. It's the intentionality around going, okay, what can I control to the best of my ability? How do I put that in just with intentionality? Because that's exactly it. It keeps you consistent. It keeps you disciplined moving forward, but it also makes you consistent and disciplined around making sure you are solid up here. Spot freaking on. So good.
Well,
Matt.
and I want to say this too, Matt. Guys, you don't have to do this forever. Like, listen, there's this fear, right? When you're counting calories, when you're working out, well, eventually you get so good at it that it becomes a habit. Like you don't need to write down brush your teeth, but my 4-year-old does. Right? Eventually you get, so like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You may be doing a lot of work scheduling now, but have hope that it's not going to be there forever. Eventually you will know through habit how to do things like self-care. And we don't talk about that enough, Matt. Like everything again is grind and hustle but like guys, it's okay to admit you need a little self-care. It's okay to admit that you need a little love. It's okay to admit that you need to put some stuff back in your emotional buckets, whatever that looks like.
100%, man. 100%. Mr. Smith.
All right, you got me on audio?
Yes, sir. We've got you.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir, for coming on. I missed the beginning of your call. My computer is dead. I had to join on my phone, but thank you for coming on, for your time. From all the things that you've done in your life, whether it's UFC, your job, dealing with kids, has there been a single event you can point to that has been like the most difficult thing to go through, the most difficult day you ever had? If so, what was it? How did you get through it? And what did you learn from it at the end of it?
Man, I'm going to give you two answers. One is a not so everyday occurrence. One is, I think, something we deal with a lot more. So the obvious answer is when my dad died when I was 20 years old. That was pretty horrible. My dad was my best friend. Like I said, I was bullied a lot as a kid. I hung out with my dad and his friends. When my dad died, I lost a whole friend group. It changed the trajectory of my life. And I honestly don't know how I got through it. I went through a tough time. I wouldn't have admitted it at the time, but at the time, I think I was depressed. I was sad. I threw myself into wrestling. I threw myself into work. I probably engaged, not probably, in some very unproductive, unsavory activities and behaviors. And I was kind of lucky to come out the other side, what I think is a well-adjusted human. But the answer that's more transferable, because not everybody, like statistically, is going to lose their dad at 20 years old. The toughest thing that I would say I went through, that we all deal with, no matter who you are or where you are, is being bullied. Because I think we all want to be accepted. We all want to be seen. We all want to be loved. And every single one of us on this call, Matt, you included, has had an experience where you've been called names, you've been put down, you've been unappreciated, you haven't been seen. And for a lot of us, this is a day-to-day thing where someone's mean to you, where someone's hurtful, or you see something on the internet that hurts your feelings because somebody was unkind. And nobody escapes this. You want to see bullying, go to the Rocks page and read the comments.
Mm.
He's a beautiful man. He's a handsome man. He's jacked. He's worth millions of dollars. He can sing. He can dance. He can do. Dude gets called a lot of mean stuff. Kim Kardashian, whatever you guys want to say about her, she went from having about $100,000 in her bank account, having about $1 billion. And by all accounts, people that know her, nobody works harder. So keep up your name calling. Keep attacking her on a physical appearance. Keep saying she's a worthless human being. Keep throwing her under the bus. She gets bullied too. You're not safe. LeBron James, I don't care what you think about him, but I'm going to tell you something. His mom was 16 and pregnant in school. He grew up in Akron, Ohio, in one of the worst ghettos in the United States of America. He was handed millions of dollars at 17 years old. He had every reason to be a failure and to turn out just a horrible human being. But despite that, he gives tons of money to charity. Despite that, Matt, has LeBron ever been arrested? Remind me.
Not that I'm aware of, sir.
Has there ever been a public scandal of him cheating on his wife?
Not that I'm aware of. Mm-mm.
Has there been anything ever like I don't care what you think about his politics or anything like that, but has anything ever come out about him being rude to a fan or an awful human being?
Nothing I've heard.
Yet he is the most bullied athlete on the face of the planet. The guy can't do any right. There are always people. Go read a LeBron James post and read the comments about how bad he sucks, about how he'll never be Jordan, about how his school sucks, about how his politics, like he's just bullied constantly. The man can never win. In fact, we rip him because he's only won 4 NBA championships. We rip him because he single-handedly dragged the Cleveland Cavaliers with a roster that I could have made, and I'm terrible at basketball, to the finals 8 years in a row. We rip him because he lost 6 NBA championships, and that makes him a loser. Do you know how hard it is to even make an NBA championship, guys? I'm going to actually boil it down to some simple math you can understand. Out of 1 million kids that play competitive basketball, 4 sign an NBA contract. The man went to 10 NBA titles, but all you guys call him a loser. He's bullied. So being bullied is something we can all relate to. And being bullied is something I really had to overcome. I still overcome it. You see, you guys, I'm looking around, but like you guys see the here we go, the UFC shorts on the wall. You see the belt, you see the big, strong 6'3", 242-pound man. But because I was bullied so badly when I was a kid, I look in the mirror and I don't see that. I see a scared 15-year-old kid looking back at me, and it affects how I talk to people. It affects like my nerves. It affects my relationships. It affects my confidence level. It affects my happiness level, even to this day. And so bullying, that was the hardest thing I had to overcome. And how did I overcome it? I decided that it wasn't going to stop. I decided to stop being a victim. I decided to stop complaining about it. And I decided to do something about it. And that's why I joined the wrestling team. Because again, physical fitness was the only thing that I could control. And if I could get bigger and stronger than everybody, maybe I could protect myself a little bit. But the lesson wasn't being bigger and stronger. The real lesson that I didn't realize for years later was the self-confidence, was the happiness, the investing in me, the psychological things that came from making myself a better person in whatever regard that meant. And if you're happy, if you're truly happy, you become immune to bullying. And I really think that physical health and mental health, they're intertwined. And I think that working on something and working on yourself really is a path to happiness. And so that would be my message to you and whoever you're doing, whatever you're doing, whoever you are, wherever you are. Like if you're going through something, do something to better yourself. I don't care, read a book, man. Just like do something to better yourself, and the self-confidence that comes from that will make your world a better place.
What do you think, Malachi?
Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate it. Love the message.
Yeah. Yeah. Ruthless self-work. I believe I've seen you right.
Yeah,
Ruth.
and Matt, it doesn't even need to be ruthless. Like it can be read 10 pages of a book every day. Work on a do you know how good it feels to get good at something? Whether it's guitar. Do you know how excited I was when I first found the whistle on Super Mario Brothers 3? Like, it sounds so dumb, but it's like it feels good to do something and get good at it. Am I right? Woodworking, electricity. You know the sense of pride I took when I was able to first, like, there's a light above me right now, and I was able to do that by myself instead of call an electrician. Do you know how,
Yeah.
like, I was like
Yeah.
bragging about it, like
100%.
I called my buddy up, like, dude, I changed a light by myself. Like it feels good. It sounds
Yeah.
so dumb, but it feels so good to just do something productive that you improve on. You know what I mean? And so that's the way out for a lot of people, is just do something every day to better yourself.
Do you have a defining, like, this was my time? Because I remember it was like I think Men's Health said like 77th, like fittest human being of all time or something.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
like
no. It's
that,
none of that. It's when I won my first wrestling match. Oh God,
so,
that felt
there
so
it
good.
is.
You know what
Okay.
it's like to lose like 70 matches in a row and then finally win?
Finally get it. Yeah.
I was like Leonardo DiCaprio at the front of the Titanic, like I'm on
Yeah.
top of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm going bananas when I won that first match. That felt so good after so much failure.
I love it, man. So
You know,
good.
or it's funny, guys, like you know, we're talking about LeBron James, and you guys see the NBA championships, and you guys see the this and that. I promise you, he's a normal guy. I promise you, he likes normal stuff like you do. I promise you that, like, and so like, just as an example of this, like I don't know, I'm looking for something here. Okay, that's pretty cool. You don't know what this means. It's worth a disturbing amount of money. Um, it's really happy. It's something I couldn't have as a kid. Man, pulling that from a pack, that was a great sense of accomplishment, right? Because I could afford it. I worked for it. So like I look at my stuff, or you could see back there. Do you see that Beaudreau Lego set back there?
See the Legos. Yeah.
Kind of out of focus, right? But it's like one of those $500 Lego sets.
Yeah.
Do you know the sense of accomplishment I had for finishing that thing? Because the 4-year-old me, the 6-year-old me, the 8-year-old me could have never afforded that. Do you know how good that felt? So like I can sit here with you guys and I'm being real and vulnerable with you. I can tell you it's when I won submission of the night in the UFC, when I was 77th in the world for like, I don't know, the fittest man in the world or some shit like that. It could be second in the world for kickboxing. It could be a world jiu-jitsu title. And yeah, that all meant a lot to me. But you know what really means a lot to me? Stuff that 12-year-old, that 13-year-old bullied kid would have loved. And I think we're all like that, Matt. Like,
Yeah,
what's the best thing you ever did? It's like, man, it's probably a lot simpler than you think it is. Because if it was winning a championship, if it was winning submission of the night, if it was being rich, every person in those shoes would be happy. And a lot of times, you know what they are? Depressed, miserable, insecure, wanting more. Like by all accounts, Jordan's the winningest athlete of all time, and by all accounts, he's also the most miserable and unhappy.
True story.
Yeah, I don't know. So like, yeah, it's my first match wrestling. It's building these Lego. It's like, man, it's that stuff, Matt.
I think that's so powerful, man. I think you're so right on that. A lot of times we forget, because now you and I are both roughly same age, 45-ish, and it's still checking off some of those things from 8-year-old us and 9-year-old us and 12-year-old us, and hitting those. There's a joy there.
Right?
It's so simple, so powerful.
Look what I got
cool.
here. I got some Ninja Turtles DVDs. Like,
Yeah,
man, I
buddy.
could afford that as a kid. But Matt, let me ask you another question, because you seem like the type of man. And by the way, I'm not looking at the camera because I'm looking at you on the screen.
Yeah,
so I want to
same.
see your reaction. But like, you look like the kind of man that like does his own landscaping or like has done some yard work.
Yeah, we got a full-on farm out here now. So yeah, we're
Okay.
getting after it all the time.
So you've accomplished a lot in life. I've got a lot of respect for you for the things that you've done and the man that you are. And I'm sure you have a laundry list of accolades that you could share with everybody, right? But have you ever just like finished cutting your lawn or finished like fixing the corner of a barn and like stood back and been like, man, I'd be good.
That
Right? And just crack
that
a
is
beer or like whatever the thing is, and just been like, man, that felt good to do that. That you go tell your wife that you're like, babe, you should see what I just did in the basement. And she's like, what?
It's so fun, man. My wife and I came back from we went and worked out together this morning, and we came back from it. And as we were driving up, and we got kind of a mile-ish long or almost a mile driveway, and as we're coming up the mountain, getting there, and as we start to pull into our property, one of our barns that we just did some work on this last weekend, man, and fix up that barn, and it was just like, look at it, and I caught myself having that little guy moment, like, look at that barn looks so freaking good right there, right?
Yeah,
And
that's like,
yep, totally. That was the stuff. Yep.
why can't that be your moment? Why can't that be your sense of accomplishment? Like, I want to tell you a story about my 4-year-old from yesterday. My wife told him to put something nice on for Thanksgiving dinner. Dude comes out in a pirate costume.
My man.
All right, dude. What are we doing here? She's like, where's your... And I had to stop her, right? I had to get her to pump the brakes. She's like, why don't you have a collared shirt? I'm like, babe, stop. Let him be him. Let him wear his pipe. He was so proud. He looked like Johnny Depp from the Pirates of the Caribbean, man. And he was so proud of his little outfit. And
awesome.
I think there's some power in that. And I think there's a lesson for everybody here. Is like, I bought him a $5 army pack of guys. And he literally, Matt, danced and clapped.
Yeah, man.
You could see the joy in his face. We lose that as we grow. My question is, what would it take you? And this is a question for everybody to answer on their own. What would it take you? What would have to show up at your door for you to literally be so happy you couldn't stop yourself from dancing or clapping? And it's really sad what it is as an adult. You understand what I mean? Versus that pure joy. That's why we're unhappy. Because we've lost the ability to like connect with like the things that really, really matter, those moments.
It's that, right? It's not that we need more as adults. It has nothing to do with the fact that we don't. It's not that we need more. It's that we've lost perspective on the things that we should be dancing and clapping.
It's also this, and I'm going to say this from a guy that grew up in the 80s, and maybe you guys don't know what that was like, but like the Never Ending Story, the original Ninja Turtles movie, like, I would have killed for like a show like Rings of Power on Amazon. Right? Like, oh my God, like the Lord of the Rings movies they're phenomenal. The Hobbit movies are phenomenal. But you know what we do now? We watch a movie and we go online and complain how bad it sucks, how we would have done the writing better, how we would have, like, can't you just sit and just enjoy something? Because I promise you, Matt, you can say The Hobbit sucks, and you can say it's not as good as The Lord of the Rings, and it's not as good as the original, and you would have wrote it this way, and this wasn't the original books, and be just a miserable human. But can you imagine an 8-year-old you seeing that? Like, mind blowing. And it's funny that, like, I was the person with Star Wars that was like, I'm not watching the new Star Wars, like the Phantom Menace. This is not what I grew up with. But and then I watched my kid watch it, and he was like all in, and I'm like, nah, this might actually be pretty cool after all. And so, like never, don't let anyone put you down for liking simple things. Don't let anyone like piss on your cornflakes. Don't let anyone I know the phrase, don't let anyone yuck your yum.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, find joy in this office of mine. You can't see everything in it, but it's got all the stuff that, like, as a kid that I didn't have. And this is where I go. This is where I do my podcasts. I got my Legos. I got my, like, just like, dude, it's like, this is where I want to be when I die. You know what I mean? The stuff that makes me happy.
God, I freaking love that, man. It's one of my favorite
Thank you,
things.
Jax.
Hunter Boo, Grandma Cassie.
Oh, Jax, say hi to our team. Here, come here. This is my guy, Jax.
Yeah, Jax.
open
How are
it?
you,
Yeah,
sir?
you guys go upstairs. You can open that, okay?
Awesome.
Hey, Hunter, come here. Come say hi to these people.
Hunter Boo.
Look at true to form. He's got a little pirate shirt on.
Yes, sir.
Hi, buddy. Say hi to everybody. Dad's teaching. Can you go upstairs? Thank you. And the other thing is, and he's got a lesson for you today too. He told me out of nowhere today in the car what he wants to be when he grows up.
What's that?
What do you think he said, guys?
You're a
Give me some
pirate?
guesses. Doctor.
Oh,
Lawyer.
Rommel
Nope.
says he wants to be dad.
Yep. Nope. He wants to be an artist.
Right on.
It honestly, guys, it made me so happy because and Matt, you tell me if I'm like being too long-winded with this, but like we live in a world where it's like no one wants to be a CPA. No one wants to be a lawyer. No one wants, I mean, maybe you do now because you like the paycheck. But like, here's an exercise, and I'm going to do it with you, Matt. What did 4-year-old Matt want to be when he grows up?
It's not even a question, man. I wanted to be a ninja.
See, okay, so like, why,
That's
like,
exact-
go
like
be a
100%.
ninja? Like,
Yeah,
why can't you be a
100%.
ninja? Like, kid
Yeah.
wants to be an artist. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, start drawing, dude. Like, we get forced in this box where we got to do these stupid things that we never wanted to do, and it's like, man, don't let anyone tell you you can't be an artist. You know what I did not do to that kid? Tell him there's no money in that.
That's right.
Tell him that it's like, no, you go be an artist, dude.
Right.
You start drawing and you go be the best damn artist that you can be. And like, why not?
God, it's so freaking good. Are you okay on time? Romel's got a hand too. Are you okay on that? I want to make sure you're good, and we can make sure we close up soon. But are you okay, Bobby?
Oh, yeah. I booked like 2 hours. So
You're
like,
the man. You're the man. Just want to make sure you're good on that. All right, my man. How you doing out there in Motown?
Hey, thank you for coming on, sir. One thing I want to say, then I have a question. I found joy recently in the past week dancing with my kids and just having fun. It's awesome. So I found that. My question for you is, you lost 70-something fights. I know bullying got you into the gym, but what positive thought kept you going? When somebody loses once, they usually give up. What pushed you past that point?
man, honestly, it was better than being bullied. Like, I finally had a group. I finally had a team. Even though I was terrible at wrestling, no one messed with me anymore because the wrestlers would like sort them out, because even if they thought I was kind of a nerd, I was still their teammate. You didn't mess with their teammate. And so honestly, doing something was better than getting punched in the face, getting stuff drawn on my forehead, and getting my underwear ripped out. Like, it was just better. And here's the other thing with perspective, right? I didn't have the greatest UFC career. I ain't Tim Kennedy, right? I ain't George St. Pierre. I ain't Khabib. I ain't Conor McGregor. I ain't, like, you know what I mean? But do you know the people that would kill to have the opportunity to stand in an octagon and get interviewed by Joe Rogan? Man, like, losing might seem bad, but man, just doing the thing, that's a win. And so that's part of it too. Like, the fact you're just doing the thing is a massive win. And I will never put anybody down for competing. The feeling you get from that, that's a win in of itself.
I like that. Sounds like you found your tribe. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
I did, but I think that, like, because this isn't about me, I think there's a tribe out there for everybody. And you do what makes you happy, man. You call yourself what you want. You wear what you want. You chase your dreams. You, like, Like, find what makes you happy and go for it. Because at the end of the day, when we get buried in a box, we're all the same, man. Like, that's it. And I promise you, when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to think about what you had or what you have in the bank. You'll just be begging for 5 more minutes to do that thing that you wanted to do when you were 12 years old.
So good, man.
Thank you, sir.
Good question,
You're
Ron.
welcome.
So what's the thing now? What's the build out now? What's the, you're looking at 2025 coming up, and you don't strike me as necessarily a New Year's resolution kind of guy. It is just what are you going after now? What's 45, 46-year-old Bobby going after? What are you building? What are you working on? What are you excited about?
My biggest thing is my YouTube.
Yeah.
So I was kind of anti YouTube for a long time.
Yeah.
And I should have got on it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And part of the reason is it's really hard. It's really hard to make a full-time living off YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, it's not for everybody. But 2 years ago, I started working hard at it. After a year, I realized I needed a little bit of help. I needed some like professional camera work. I needed some editing. I needed some stuff like that. And so I actually invested a large portion of money into it. And that was scary. That was hard to pay $3,000 to $5,000 a month to get some professional editing. Video work is not cheap. You guys want a job? Get good at like running a video camera. Wow. You can make a lot. Like, you see the day rates that videographers make. Big bucks. I'll tell you how you're going to be rich. You're going to be a videographer and an editor. You're going to be an electrician, or you're going to be a plumber. There are 3 things that nobody can do that you need to hire out for that will pay you. Mechanics, another one, by the way, off topic, but those are the career paths of the future for my kids. But I really started investing in this. And the purpose is twofold. One, you can make an insane amount of money on YouTube. You guys have no idea how much Jake Paul makes on YouTube. You have no idea how much Mr. Beast makes on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of money to be had in that. And it is recession free because YouTube's free. Advertisers will always pay for people to watch on YouTube, but like, you don't know what's going to happen with these tariffs. You don't know what's going to happen with taxes. You don't know what's going to happen with automation, with AI. Like, there's a lot of stuff that can take your job away. But like YouTube, people always want to watch videos. So I've really been invested in this for my future and living the lifestyle I want. And it's not about the money. It's not about the paycheck. For me, it's about the freedom, because I want to be able to work from anywhere in the world. And number 2, I want to be able to buy some stuff that I really want to buy. I got a goal. I want a Black Lotus. It's a Magic the Gathering card like these, but it is the card. And man, it's a little extravagant. But if I can make enough on YouTube, when I get to 1 million subscribers, I'm buying myself that card.
That's awesome.
Because I'll be able to do it financially. Because if I have 1 million subscribers, I'll be making.
You'll be all right.
I'll be doing good, where I can actually like treat myself, and that will make that 4-year-old kid in me, that 8-year-old kid in me, go bananas, right? So that's the first part of it. The second part of it is, I think it's a real vehicle to help people. I used to think it was Instagram and TikTok, but Instagram and TikTok have turned into funny memes and dances. And listen, I'm not trying to be the old guy saying, get off my lawn, but the way Instagram is, it just, it's funny. I put out like a gag post and it does 19 million views, 20 million views, 25 million views. I do something that's genuinely educational and it bombs. There's nothing there. It's just the world we live in. It's the attention span. From doing 8-minute long form content videos on YouTube, I have found a place where I can really help other people, and the comments show it. Hey man, I'm 64 years old. Your page is giving me hope. Hey man, I'm an 18-year-old kid. I was struggling. I know your stuff's aimed for men that are over 40, but man, I get a lot of value from this. And so it really fills my buckets, because I do really want to help other people with what I know. And so YouTube is going to fulfill some goals for myself. And it's not about the money. It's about the things I want to do. And like, being able to have some awesome experiences. Do you know what I mean? Um, and that's part of it. And then the second part of it is being able to help people. So YouTube 2025, I am all in. To give you a thing on my success, at the start of the year, I was at 15,000 subscribers. I am now, we're going to check this. I check it 100 times a day because I am obsessed. All right, guys. 114,982. We're going to go over 115K today, but that is huge. And by the way, 0.06% of YouTube accounts ever get to 100K subscribers.
Wow.
It's big.
Wow. That's
I'm getting
huge.
a play button in the mail. A play button, my kid tells me, is a big deal. It means I'm a real YouTuber. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's this. That silver thing. If you see that in the background, somebody's a real YouTuber.
That is legit, man.
So that's what I'm like really, really focused on. Again, twofold. One, I want some money to do some things that I really want to do. You know what I want to do, Matt? I want to be able to go to a restaurant and not look at the prices on the menu and just order.
Yeah, just grab something. Yeah.
I want to be able to go to the card store and not think like, man, so I'm trying to build 5 decks. And by the way, I talk about this excessively because it's a huge passion of mine. But like, I need some cards for this deck. They're 100 card decks. I want to be able to just go and buy the cards that I need without even thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? It's not about, I actually wouldn't even drive a different truck. I drive a beat up old GMC Canyon with cloth seats. I wouldn't buy a Maserati. I wouldn't buy a $90,000 truck. I wouldn't I drive the same thing, but I want to buy those. And so that's part of it. And the other part of it is really offering people some genuine help and hope.
Freaking awesome. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. When we go out we're gonna have live events in every state coming up this year. Like you making a shift, gonna start focusing on YouTube. From what we understand too, it's like that first 1,000. There's different milestones that are difficult to get over, and so we've got a couple of those milestones that we're going after too. But part of it is we're going to be documenting those live events that we're going to do in every state every single year, and we're going to invite our friends from those events as Tim and I and the team travel around and knock out those live events. When we get to Utah, man, we got to have you there.
I would love to. And I'll even travel for stuff like that. I love talking to people, and like I love your mission. I love what you're doing. And to the guys in the audience, like, you have a real opportunity here. I didn't have this, man. Like, you couldn't zoom on to stuff. You couldn't like Google chat people. You couldn't have access to this. Like it's like such a good internet. Dude, no. Like
I don't remember internet. I don't even remember internet being a thing until
I got AOL dial-up in like 1997.
I was gonna say, like, right after we graduated high school.
I was like 19 years old. Like I never had. I couldn't look this stuff up. I couldn't order stuff on the internet. I couldn't. And so, and you said something interesting, like about about like those milestones. Do you know it's harder to go from 0 to 1,000 subs on YouTube than 0 to 100,000? It's insane. Like it's now that I've hit 100,000, I'm going to grow, but it's a lot harder than people think.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of, unless you're Ronaldo, like Ronaldo started his YouTube page and at 36 million subs like the next day because he's Ronaldo. But like for anyone else, like, do you guys have a YouTube page? It is hard.
Yeah, we've got it. We haven't done a lot with it, which is why. But I think
it's a lot. With it.
I think we just crossed over I think we might have just crossed over the 1,000 without really putting any energy.
Yeah, but it's hard to get from 1,000 to 100K. Like the stuff you got. Instagram, you could just post and like you might go viral, you might not. This you need like writing, you need scripting, you need editing, you need thumbnails, you need to like post it. Like it's a lot. And so that's why I'm so proud of it, because it's like, man, this is taking a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Well, it's indicative of the value you bring to everybody too. I mean, it just is, because you post amazing stuff. It's the mindset stuff, but it's the physical health stuff. It's the entire thing, man. It's the whole.
And by the way, guys, just so you know, we were talking about bullying earlier. all the stuff I'm telling you now, people come on the internet to call me stupid, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm a loser, that my record's only 5-4 in the UFC, that I'm a bum, that I don't actually look 46, that I look like 70, that I'm not that fit. Like you can't be immune to it. So you got to deal with all that too.
On shows, man. Well, you're providing a lot of value to the world, brother. Doing a
Thank
whole
you.
lot, doing a whole lot of good. I want to make sure. So what I'm gonna do is the last 30 minutes, I'll take these guys through a debrief, and we'll go into a little bit of a lesson and Socratic discussion on that back end. But before you are off, we want to make sure we do right by all the listeners too, because this does go out to 50 some odd countries as well. We got subscribers everywhere, so I want to make sure we know where to send everybody for anything that you're excited about, whether it's the YouTube, whether it's any other page. We want to make sure we do right by you. And then I got some stuff. I'm going to text you afterwards too. I want to get an address. I got some stuff to send to your boys.
No, I appreciate that. So there's two ways to get a hold of me. One way is preferable. The other way you don't want. So number one, just Bobby Maximus. You put it into the YouTube, you put it into the TikTok, you put it into the Blue Sky is the new one. You put it into the red, like I don't care. Bobby Maximus. The second is you go in your bathroom at midnight, you turn the lights off, and you say Bobby Maximus into the mirror. I am not responsible for what happens to you at that moment.
Got some old school Candyman vibes going on right
You know, it'd
there.
be funny if people actually tried that. Oh my God.
If I could say it till midnight, I would try it.
Bobby Maximus. Okay. So those are the two ways, the two ways you get a hold of me. But the beauty of the world today, like you talked about the internet, is just punch in Bobby Maximus. Like it's so easy to get info now. You just Google it. It's an awesome way to connect with people if you like stuff that I do. And I do want to say, Matt, I am extremely grateful to have the opportunity to do this. You know, there was a time in my life that no one wanted to listen to me, that no one wanted to learn from me. You know, sometimes I feel like we talked about gratitude. I do a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of video stuff. I do a lot of teaching. And every so often, I was actually really excited to do this, but every so often I feel like, why am I doing this? Like, I got to do this again. I gotta get on stage. I gotta be Bobby Maximus for a minute, right? Because the truth is, there's Bobby Maximus, and then there's a little kid named Robbie McDonald, and like, it's hard to put on the cape sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I feel like a little overwhelmed, a little like, why am I doing this? And then I think about the first time I was asked to be on a podcast. How exciting that was, and how happy it made me, and how I wanted all my friends to listen. And so I always take 5 minutes and put myself back there before I do these types of things. Like, bring that same, you know. So I want to say to you, man, you made my day. You made my week. Like, I am extremely grateful and humbled and honored that you all wanted to spend a couple hours with me. You know, it really does, and I'm not understating this, it really does mean the world to me that someone recognizes me and someone sees me. So, I mean, genuinely, like, thank you for that. To all.
Thank you for that, man. And it's not just seeing and recognizing, it's we want to honor you too, man, because you're doing a lot of good in the world. You're doing a lot of good in that household. Very much a man after our entire tribe's heart right here, man. So thank you.
No, I appreciate it. And the goal is to the gentleman that was talking about losing, the goal of trying. Like, we're talking about being good dads and good sons and this stuff, but like, listen, I don't know if I'm doing right by these kids. I'm just trying my best, man. And like, I promise you, I'm not going to know till they're 30 years old if I did the right thing or not. And even then, they're going to make some decisions, and I'm going to blame myself. And they're going to do some good things, and I'm going to take some credit for it. And I probably, maybe I had something to do with it. Maybe I didn't, you know? But the point is, I'm just trying my best. And I say that a lot. Don't tell me good luck. Don't tell me to go win. Don't tell me, like, just say, hey, go try your best and have some fun. Like, if you can do that, it's shocking the good that will come out of it.
So true. So true. So good, brother. Well, man, again, honored by you, grateful for you. I'm going to take these guys through and then I'm going to shoot you a text when we get off, man. I would love to get, whether it's a PO box or something. I got some things I want to send. Again, it's just a token of appreciation, small token of appreciation. And then we got to keep the conversation rolling, man. Like I said, when we get out there to
Yeah,
Utah.
man. And I ain't got no, just to tell you guys how down to earth I am. You get my real address. I don't have a PO box. I don't have it's like, it's so funny. People have been like, don't you feel like you need like a separate, like, do you want to know people where you live? I'm like, people can find that on the internet. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And honestly, like there's part of it, man. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel if someone came to my door and said, I'm a fan, like, it'd be easy to be annoyed at that. But like at the same token, do you know how cool that is when that, and it's happened, but do you know how good that feels?
Yeah, man.
Like, and the courage it took someone to come up and knock on your door. Hey, man, I found out you lived here. Can you sign my book? Oh, like dude, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
like I feel there's like a gratitude lesson there too. You know what I mean? And so it's yeah, I use my real address. I'm a normal dude, just like you guys. I have the same insecurities, the same fears, the same shit. We're all the same people, man.
True story. Well, you're leading well with it, man. I'm going to send you a few things, and at some point here, whether I'm out in Utah or you're out in North Carolina mountains, or whether we meet somewhere in the middle, I got a big old freaking hug waiting for you too.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thank you so much, and to everyone on this call, thank you. My inbox is always open if you got questions. So,
Guys, give a big thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.